Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be how the narcissist infiltrates lives. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So infiltration, what is this? It's when something is seeping into a system, a person, a relationship, etc. And this is exactly what the narcissist does. They infiltrate people's lives. The narcissist certainly infiltrated your life for a period of time, which was the length of that relationship. Maybe right now you're still in the relationship. Maybe you're developing and creating and getting ready to execute an exit plan. Once you've identified who the narcissist is, maybe it's your roommate, maybe it's your romantic interest, maybe it's your mom, dad, brother, sister, coworker, colleague, neighbor, person in hobby group or community that you are and or were a part of. Once you've identified who these people are, you need to understand these relationships do not improve. The narcissist will infiltrate more and more of your life. They will learn all about you. They will figure out what your hopes and your dreams and your aspirations are and or were. They will figure out your past relationships. They will figure out if you have money, if you have beach homes, etc. They will look to test your relationship. And in the beginning of the relationship, when you were in it with the narcissist, you did not know that narcissism was prevalent on the planet because you weren't taught this in school. So you had no way of knowing that there are people on the planet that don't have your best interest at heart. There are people on the planet that flat out want to do harm and cause you much dismay, or they want to manipulate your lives. They want to control you. And there are so many people that are like that. There are also good quality people out there, and I'm certain that's who you are. I do my best to be a good quality person each and every day, and my hope is that's what you're doing. But the narcissist, it's not what they do. They want to infiltrate any part of your life. So go back in time when you were in that relationship. You probably were an open book. You probably were in a vulnerable position when you met them, although you didn't have to be that way. But many times people enter the narcissistic relationship when they are vulnerable. Example, when they relocate, when they need some financial assistance, when they just started a job, when they just had a death in the family, or when they just lost they had a health concern, etc. When you're vulnerable and you're hoping that someone is going to be there to help you out, or someone's going to be there to aid you or give you some assistance, this person, if they turned out to be a narcissist when they were there for you or they weren't there for you, they were learning all about you. Because when you're vulnerable and you don't know what narcissism is, that's a deadly combination. And that's exactly how most of us entered the relationship, when we were vulnerable, but not everybody. But having said this, the narcissist at one point infiltrated your life. Maybe they claimed that they were a single parent and that their spouse, their first spouse, maybe they have 2 or 3 by now, but their first spouse isn't on the planet any longer, and that person was just a not good person, and you fell for that mask and you believed in that, and then you said, wait, oh my gosh, I actually fell in love with you and I can help you and I can raise the kids, etc. Maybe that was you. Or maybe the narcissist was not a single parent. Maybe they were a person who told you that they had been bullied or victimized their whole life, their whole childhood and upbringing, and you said, wait, well, we can build a relationship. And then you got married, you moved halfway around the world, you had kids, and then the mask fell off. Boom. You figured out that you married a narcissist. Maybe it's today. Maybe today's the first day you're ever consuming a video and you're figuring out, oh my gosh, that's my marriage of X number of years. That's my mom. That's my sister. That's my dad. Who knows? But the narcissist infiltrated your life, and they were doing a A+ job of doing just this, learning all about you, figuring out what made you tick, until something pivotal happened, which usually is when A, the relationship breaks, or B, you remove yourself and you go no contact and you block these people, you delete them, you remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? Taking action is the path. Thinking that someone's going to knock on your door and save the day, that's not realistic. Thinking that somebody is going to be able to put themselves in your shoes post-narcissistic relationship, if they haven't gone through it, that's going to be challenging to say the least. You see, those of us who have made it through the fire and risen through the ashes like a phoenix, we are changed forever. We are galvanized. We are the strongest versions of ourselves known to humankind. We have reached the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, and we all speak the same language, a language we weren't taught in school. It's a language we acquired from the abuse we were enduring day in and day out when we were in the narcissistic relationship. This language is a superpower, and it is a huge superpower on steroids once you understand that that relationship was what it was. It wasn't what you wanted it to be. And when you practice radical acceptance, you really, really slow your life down and process childhood wounds, and you heal or see a therapist, and you journal and meditate and watch videos and read, etc. Well, this is the healing path. When you do these things and you really slow everything down, you understand that you had to heal from that relationship. You couldn't just jump back into another, let's say, romantic relationship or enter a new friendship, because you had a lot of work in front of you. And the reason why you had that work in front of you is there are two reasons. One, because this is the relationship you need to heal from, but two, because the narcissist probably took so much from you. All of your resources, your assets, your time, money, energy, effort, love, empathy, your health, your status, anything they could take, they took it. If it wasn't nailed down, they would grab it and run right out the front door. And this is what the narcissist does. They believe that they are entitled to anything that was yours or is yours. And they believe that your money should be their money, which is why usually they are, let's put it this way, usually they're spending people's money, whether it is a roommate, whether it is mom, dad, brother, sister, romantic, whatever. They're spending that person's money, the supplies money, and they're squirreling away their own money because they don't want to spend their own money, because many times these people are absolutely cheap. They're the highest definition of cheapness, if you will. And what they will do is they will claim that they don't have money when they do have money. That's just one aspect of what the narcissist, or who the narcissist is. But when they infiltrated your life, they did a number on you, and you didn't know what you were up against, because each and every day you were in that relationship, you were experiencing toxicity. Example, gaslighting, the silent treatment, rage fits, stonewalling. You were being blamed for anything, and I mean anything that the narcissist wanted to blame you for. That's called blame shifting. It's when they can't be accountable. They can't introspect or look in the mirror and say, yes, I messed up my life. They can't do that. That's why they need the walking apology. That's why they need the punching bag. That's why they need the unpaid helper. That's why they need a sounding board. That's why they need people to regulate themselves. And when you are in the narcissistic relationship, let's say you're living under the same roof as the narcissist, you'll notice that those relationships deteriorate so much quicker than you ever imagined. Because let's say, example, you did get married, you moved into a new house or somewhere, or you bought a property, or you rented an apartment. Well, first of all, as soon as the wedding bells rang and the guests had left and the cake was served, that's when everything shifted, number one. It went in favor of the narcissist. It did not go in favor of you. But when you realized that you moved in with this person who turned out to be the narcissist, that's when you realized you had a very small footprint in your own house, whether you owned it or not, because the narcissist took over your house. They would take over any room that they felt necessary to make sure that you were uncomfortable in your house. Example, maybe they had magazines all over the couch so you couldn't sit on the couch. Maybe they kept the sink completely filled with unwashed dishes, so you would have to wash the dishes. Maybe they wouldn't be paying the bills, so you had to pay the bills because you needed to have internet and electricity, and they knew that you would pay the bills. There are so many different examples of the narcissistic relationship and their toxicity, but when you were living with them, you knew that something was wrong. You knew that something was off, but you could not put your finger on it. And what you did one day, most likely, is you either took notes about that relationship, or you went into a search engine, Google or YouTube or somewhere, and you typed something into the browser, like poor behaviors or silent treatment or something, and then boom, you went down and you discovered not only your first light bulb moment, but you discovered that narcissism is what you were talking about, but you just didn't have a name for it. And then you went down the rabbit hole of education and exploration, and you became quite familiar with the terms in the glossary on the narcissistic abusive cycle. You learned exactly what a flying monkey was. You learned what the trauma bond was. You learned object constancy, etc. Now, these are all terms and words and definitions and descriptions of words that you hadn't even heard about before, but you needed to get the wisdom. You needed to understand the tools and the mannerisms on the narcissistic abusive cycle, because the narcissist infiltrated your life, and they created a huge rift between you and anything that mattered to you, which again meant your network of friends, your hobby groups, your job, your health, everything. Because you lose yourself when you're in these relationships. You become a shell of yourself. You lose your identity to the narcissist. And I don't say that lightly. When I say you lose your identity to the narcissist, it means you end up one day figuring out that you don't have a voice in the relationship. You're doing exactly what the narcissist wants you to do, when they want you to do it, and how they want you to do it. You're burning through your money. Your health is taking a hit. You're isolated. You're probably in a city or town that you're not even familiar with. Maybe you don't even have friends in that city or town. You're not participating in your hobbies any longer because the narcissist would tell you, example, why do you want to play guitar? No one plays guitar. Or you're not that good. Or get it, like that guitar is just so cheap. What are you doing? They would say something like that. Or let's talk about gardening. Maybe you love to garden. Well, they would say, who has time for gardening? Who has the energy to actually go in the yard, dig up a couple holes, plant some seeds, water it, nurture it, prune it? Like, why would you do that? It's just such a waste of time. And then next thing you know, you're not playing guitar and you're not gardening. And what are you doing? You're sitting on the couch waiting for the narcissist to control your life, to tell you what they want you to do next. And this happens insidiously. It happens so slowly you can't even notice it until it's too late. That is how the narcissist infiltrates your life. Same thing with your house. Let's say you had a favorite chair or couch or something, or a favorite TV show that you used to love to watch, or Netflix, whatever. Well, the narcissist would make sure quickly that that chair was removed, or the couch wasn't good enough, or who watches the Netflix shows that you watch, or the TV shows, because they're just so boring, and boring people would do any of those things, like sit in that chair or sit on that couch or watch the shows. Why would you do that? See, they are always demeaning you. They are always putting you down. They are always invalidating you, and they're making you feel less than. They're keeping you under their thumb. And when you don't have the wisdom on the cycle, then you don't know what you're up against, and the narcissist has infiltrated your life. And that is when it's too late many times, because you're already in it too deep. Example, maybe you did get married to the narcissist. Maybe you did have children with them. Maybe you're tethered financially because they control all the money and they are financially abusing you. Maybe you went into business with them. You can't wait to remove the business contracts. Maybe you're waiting to get divorced. Maybe it's a roommate or a colleague or coworker that you just can't wait to quit the job or leave the roommate household. There are so many different ways the narcissist will infiltrate your life. And as I mentioned a moment ago, it's too late. When you're in it, it's too late many times, because you didn't see the signs before you got married. You didn't see the signs when you had children. You didn't see the signs till it was too late. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to take you on a different direction here, which is a very important side note pro tip. Does the narcissist know what they're doing? For anybody who believes that they do not know what they're doing, think again. I say this so frequently. The narcissist breathes the same air that we breathe, and they put their clothes on the same way. They also have a choice or an option. Each and every morning when they wake up, what are they going to do? Are they going to jump on one of their 3 smartphones and start sending out the same template text to about 30 sources of supply, seeing who will reply, who will get back to them first, and that will be the target for the month? Or are they going to be a good person and maybe do the right thing and be kind, loving, peaceful, healthy, stable, and be a good person? They're not going to do the latter. They're going to do the former. They need to be on their smartphones. They need to find new shiny objects. They need to infiltrate people's lives that they haven't met in person, but yet they've met them on dating apps or social media accounts halfway around the world. Why do you think the narcissist so frequently will send a template text in the morning? Example, hi, how are you? And it won't even be spelled properly, or it'll be all small letters, not even capital letters, because the narcissist is too lazy to use caps with the first letter of the text. But they'll copy paste that. And many times they'll send it to 2, 3, 4, 30 people. And whoever gets back, that's who the narcissist will be targeting or drawing or luring back in, so they can infiltrate that person's life or those people's lives. And then whoever has the most resources, that's who the narcissist may go after the next time. But while they're doing that, they're probably living with you or tethered with you some way, and they're just waiting to discard you, not trying to trigger you or upset you. This is what the narcissist does. This is what they did before they met you. This is what they were doing right now with somebody, and it's what they'll do again in the future. They will infiltrate people's lives. They will go into relationships like a wolf in sheep's clothing. They will act like they're holier than thou, that they're the communal narcissist, that they love Jesus and they love the Lord and all these things, but behind closed doors, what are they doing? Cheating on their spouses, playing the sexting games of the narcissist, playing the texting games of the narcissist, staying out late, probably doing some other nasty things that I won't get into, but this is how it is. And that's just a really tiny little slice of a version of the narcissist, which is the communal narcissist, who claims that they're holier than thou, but they're anything but that. Anything but that. The narcissist is everywhere. They're all around you. They are in communities where you live. They're on planes, trains, automobiles. They're in classes. They are everywhere. The whole point of the video is to understand that the narcissist did infiltrate your life for a period of time. And then you went no contact, or you removed yourself, or you blocked them, or you did all of the above. Maybe you divorced the narcissist. Maybe you're waiting for the assets to be divided by the mediator Maybe the divorce is final, but you're still waiting to get the money that the narcissist owes you, and they're slowly paying you because they can do that and they want to twist the knife into you deeper. The narcissist believes they're above the law. They believe the rules don't matter to them. They believe they can make their own rules and people will abide by them. And actually that is true until it isn't, when you finally get the message and you've had enough and you've reached the point of no return. And then again, you went no contact, etc. But the narcissist can no longer infiltrate your life because here's why. 1, you don't overshare information anymore. 2, you're the educated empath. 3, my hope is you've healed or you're well on the healing path. 4, you can spot toxicity a mile or 10,000 kilometers away, which is another one. Number 5, I think I'm on. Maybe you relocated. I can assure you, you've slowed your life down and you've taken stock of the relationships that you are and or were a part of, and you've definitely identified who some more toxic people were in your life. And now you really save your energy and your empathy and love and resources for those loved and trusted ones around you. You don't just drop whatever you're doing in the moment's notice to help out a complete stranger. Although you could if you wanted to, but you don't do it like you did do it in the past because we don't know who these complete strangers are. Maybe they're the narcissist playing the victim, which is the vulnerable narcissist, which maybe that's the one that got you. The person that comes at you like, oh, I've got so many problems. I had such a challenging childhood and my parents never loved me and I've been in and out of homes and etc. and all these things and nobody loves me. It would be so nice to have someone take a chance with me. And you listened to those words and you said, wait, I can help out. I can love you and I can enter a relationship. And next thing you know, years later, wedding rings on the finger, you went from romance to roommates. You now have a mortgage on your apartment or house, which is 3 times what it used to be. And your health has taken a hit. You don't talk to any of your friends anymore because you've been, wedges have been driven between you and your friend groups because of the smear campaign instilled or administered by the narcissist. And you find yourself a shell of yourself living in one wing of the house. Just one example. There are hundreds, and I mean hundreds of thousands of layers of the onion to peel back on the narcissistic abusive cycle. I'm sharing with you that the narcissist did infiltrate your life. They crept in it like a slow drip. You turn the water faucet on and a drop comes out, and another drop, and another drop, and then eventually those drops come into a little stream, and the next thing you know, it's a full waterfall. That is an example. When you turn the water spigot on in a relationship and it turns out to be with a narcissist, it's way too late. And many times you're in it too deep and you don't know how to turn the spigot off because you don't even know where the spigot is. But that's why you're getting the wisdom. That's why you're slowing your life down and processing things, and that's why you're healing, or you have healed, and you're reaching, or you have reached the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference. This is the path. Remember, take action. Take action today, if not now, when? Understand what I'm sharing with you. Don't allow anybody to infiltrate your life. Do not overshare. Have boundaries. Don't be a people pleaser. Learn to say no, the strongest word in the English language, and conserve your energy for yourself. That's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy the day. Do something kind for yourself. I'm sending you all a huge virtual hug, no matter where you are on the planet, no matter what time of the day or evening it is. Continue on the path moving forward each and every day, and understand that 1 minute in a narcissistic relationship is 1 minute too long once you've identified who these people are. I love you. God bless you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye.